Our report is on the paper DeepZip, a lossless data compression technique using recurrent neural networks. This paper was submitted in 2018. Sequential data is any data where order matters for the data to have some sense or meaning. Examples of sequential data include text streams, audio clips, video clips, time series data, etc. Sequential data is being generated at an unprecedented pace in various forms, including text and genomic data. So, to store such vast amounts of data, we not only need good but an efficient algorithm to have better storage, transmission, and processing of such data. Let f of x be an arbitrary complex function. The universal approximation theorem states that there exists a neural network that can approximately approach the result and do the job. This result holds for any number of input and outputs. Neural networks are considered as black boxes because while they can approximate any function, studying their structure will not give you any insights on how the function is being approximated. In this paper, the authors have explored and devised methods to compress sequential data using neural network predictors. We combine recurrent neural network predictors with arithmetic coders and generate an algorithm which can losslessly compress text, synthetic, and genomic datasets. They have proposed a new neural network-based compressed DeepZip that outperforms gzip on real datasets and achieves nearly optimal compression on synthetic datasets. gzip is one of the most commonly used compression tools. gzip is based on LZ77 and Huffman coding. DeepZip requires designing the individual context-based compressors which heavily depend on kind of source being analyzed. Consider the following data stream over an alphabet S, which we have to compress it losslessly. DeepZip consists of two major blocks, an RNN-based probability predictor and an arithmetic coder, pound encoder. A decoder is also constructed subsequently to reconstruct the compressed data. These are the images of encoder and decoder frameworks of DeepZip. We can see that for encoder, the symbol SI, output of the previous arithmetic encoder, and output of neural network predictor are given to the arithmetic encoder. But for the decoder, output of the previous arithmetic decoder, output of neural network predictor are given to the arithmetic decoder, and it reconstructs SI. We will see their functioning in the coming slides. Now let us see the first block of DeepZip, that is probability predictor. Consider a sequence Sn. The probability predictor block estimates SR's conditional probability distribution over the previous k observed variables, where k is the hyperparameter. The probability estimate P hat SR given SR minus 1, SR minus 2, and so on SR minus k is then fed into the arithmetic encoding block. The probability predictor block is modeled as a neural network based predictor. Now let us see its functioning during encoding and decoding. Model is trained for multiple sequences that need to be compressed for multiple epochs. The model weights are stored and are used for decompression too. It uses trained model weights to output probability distribution over each symbol, which is then used by the arithmetic encoder to perform compression. For initial k symbols, any pair can be chosen by the arithmetic encoding block. The decoding mechanism is symmetric to that of encoding mechanism. The authors have explored various architectures of neural networks to find a suitable probability estimator. The first one is fully connected neural networks. The fully connected neural network is a combination of multiple fully connected layers of neurons. Softmax layer is used at the end in order to get a multinomial distribution of each character. The second one is LSTM or GRU single output framework. Every symbol SR, the input consists of the past k symbols SR minus k to SR minus 1. Each of the symbols in an input is given to a bidirectional GRU cell. Finally, a softmax layer is applied at the final hidden state obtained from LSTM or GRU cell. The A image denotes the architecture of such a neural network. And the third one is LSTM multiple output framework. Input consists of pass K symbols that are fed into K LSTM cells. The outputs of those LSTM cells are concatenated, followed by a dense layer and subsequently softmax layer, which gives us final probability distribution that can be used by the arithmetic encoding block. The B image shows us the architecture of such network. So, training of probability predictor. To train a neural network based predictor based on previous K symbols, with chosen K to be 64, the sequence is divided into non-overlapping segments of length K plus 1 shifted by 1, where the first K symbols of over in each segment form the input and the last K symbols act as the last symbol act as output. Optimal is set to Adam, loss is set to categorical cross entropy, batch size is fixed at 1024. The model is optimized for maximum of 10 epochs, where training is terminated early if significant improvement is not observed. For every epoch, the training data is shuffled, which helps in achieving convergence. To update the model every epoch, we update the model every epoch if there is a decrease in average loss from the previous minima. Cross-validation set is not used during training, and in fact, we attempt to overfit the model on training data. This is because the proposed framework stores model weights as a part of compressed representation, and trained model is used only for prediction of training data.
Now let's look at the arithmetic coder block, which comes after the probability predictor block. This block can be thought of as an irreversible finite state machine, which takes the probability distribution estimate for the next symbol SR based on the previous K symbols. The K can be any arbitrary number. It can be a large value or a small value. And then we take this probability, this conditional probability, and encode it into a state. The final state is encoded using bits which form the compressed representation of the sequence. Arithmetic coding maintains a range in interval 0 to 1, which is true because probability always lies in the range 0 to 1, and this range can be computed sequentially and directly based on the conditional probability distribution for the next symbol. Arithmetic coder block can be thought of as a probability. This probability is mapped into CDF of symbols based and from the range in which the probability is mapped into the CDF, we can uniquely identify code for each symbol, each sequence. The decoder performs the inverse operations, which is almost the same, which follows the same steps as the encoder given the probability. Now let's look at the loss function used in this arithmetic coder block. We use one-hot encoding for this data. One-hot encoding is used on classifying categorical data. And for this one-hot encoding, we use categorical cross entropy as the loss function. Because categorical cross entropy is used in multi-class classification tasks, where example can only belong to one of the many possible categories. It is used because we only get one of the possible symbols in the given alphabets. And cross entropy is a commonly used loss function. Cross entropy is a measure from the field information theory building upon entropy and generally calculating difference between two probability distributions. The cross entropy is similar to KL divergence, but not exactly same. Cross entropy calculates total entropy of distribution. The cross entropy is loss function C of y comma y dash is given in the slide, from where we can see that y is a one-hot encoding ground truth and y hat is the predicted probability, and mod s is the alphabet size and n is the sequence length. This can be further simplified as shown in the slides, where p hat is the joint probability distribution obtained from the predictor block which we obtained previously. And we can see that This function is in similar form of the average number of bits per symbol required for arithmetic coding. So we can see that categorical cross entropy can be used as loss function and is an optimal loss function to consider while training models in DeepZip network. Arithmetic coder block can be used to achieve significant speedups by parallelizing encoding and decoding operations, just like pipework networks. Thus, we can obtain more. Thus, we can reduce the increase speed significantly while decreasing operations required. Though we increase the burden on the system, so we have to consider its burden and choose sufficient enough variables further. So we use B non-overlapping and encodings parallelly. Let's say the path size of each parallelly occurring encoding operations be 1000, and each step the probabilities of these segments are computed independently and in parallel by creating a batch size of size B. This is followed by separate arithmetic encoding steps for each segment. The decompression process is symmetric to the compression process, and the segments are decoded independently in parallel and concatenated at the end to produce the final decoded file.
For experiments using DeepZip, authors considered real datasets and synthetic datasets. The following are the real datasets considered by the author. Human CHR1 dataset. We consider chromosome 1 DNA reference sequence of Human Genome Project. The alphabet of the DNA sequence typically consists of A, C, G, T, N. C. elegans CHR1. We consider chromosome 1 of C. elegans genomic difference sequence for compression. C. elegans whole genome. We consider C. elegans home genome sequence for compression obtained by concatenating 6 chromosomes. PHIEX virus quality value dataset. Along with sequential nucleotides, raw genomic sequential data is also consists of quality values representing probability of error of obtained nucleotides. We consider 100 MB of quality value data for a PHIX virus data, where each symbol takes 4 possible values. TextAid dataset. It is an ASCII text dataset of size 100 MB. It is widely used and studied and experimented on its literature. So the below ones are the synthetic datasets generated by the authors for texting. Independent and identical distributed data. So a Benroli random variable with probability 0.1 is used to generate this data. The second one is kth order Markov model. The Markov k sources are generated as follows: Sn plus 1 equal to Sn plus Sn minus k mod m, where m is the size of alphabet, which is considered 2 by default. This source is closely related to lagged Fibonacci pseudo-random generator, and hence it is difficult to compress for most of the traditional compressors. And the third one is hidden Markov model, HMM. HMM is a statistical Markov model where the system is being modeled is assumed to be Markov process with an unobserved hidden state. Here, H is the hidden state and H equal to xn minus 1 plus xn minus k minus 1 mod m, and which is a kth order Markov process. Z is added IID noise. We consider Zn to be a Benroli random variable with probability p equals 0.1. Specifically, HMM process is generated as follows: Sn plus 1 equal to xn plus xn minus k plus Zn mod m.
Now, for the real and synthetic datasets obtained above, these are the results obtained. The results are tabulated here. The first table represents the results corresponding to real datasets, and the second table corresponds to results of synthetic datasets. Now, first let's look at the results for real datasets. As we can see, the proposed compressor DeepZip performs better than gzip. which is the currently used main compressor, by about 20%. DeepZip achieves comparable results to another famous compressor, BSC. We can also see that for DeepZip, ByGRU framework obtained better results compared to other frameworks. Specialized compressors like GCO achieves 5 to 10% smaller size to DeepZip for human and C. elegans genomes. And ZPack is another specialized compressor which also achieves compressed size 25% lower than DeepZip compression for text-8 datasets on text and genomic data. But these compressors are specialized compressors which can only be utilized for these datasets, specific datasets. So they also include specific extra features to reduce the complexity and also give better results. But the DeepZip we used here is a same compression algorithm which is used for multiple datasets. So on a whole, we can see that DeepZip achieves relatively better results for large types of datasets. Furthermore, in some cases, model can be shared between different sequences. For example, when compressing genomes of different individuals, which are very similar. Now let's come to synthetic datasets. The table 2 corresponds to results for synthetic dataset, and we can also observe that sequences with long-term dependencies, the traditional compressors fail to achieve good compression results. The proposed compressor DeepZip, on the other hand, is able to exploit the structure in these sequences to achieve much better compressions. We observe that in some cases, for example, XOR40 dataset, the DeepZip performance is significantly dependent upon training parameters. Since the synthetic datasets are generated randomly, it depends on the dataset. The results depends on the dataset generated. Because this can be understood by the fact that the source is pseudo-random, making it difficult for the optimization process to find the appropriate minimum. Now, these slides here shows the results and observations in written form. And now let's come to conclusions. From this paper, we can conclude that this paper presented a neural network prediction-based framework for lossless compression of sequential data. The proposed compressor DeepZip achieves improvements over ZZip for variety of real datasets and synthetic datasets. And we can further improve this dataset by in these methods. We can try to improve them. We can try to improve the performance of model by using attention models to improve the prediction and hence the overall compression. We can also try to improve the compression on non-stationary sources by allowing weights to be fine-tuned as the sequence is compressed or decompressed so as to adapt quickly to the changing statistics. Thank you.